Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today. It's Friday morning. It's September 3rd, 2021. I am the man they call Meathead, joined by Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning.
Let's talk about sponsor real quick before we get into the show.
That would be collarandelbowbrand.com, available at collarandelbowbrand.com. Collar and Elbow Brand's the name of the clothing company, but you can find them at collarandelbowbrand.com.
Yeah.
And if you want to save 10% on the said clothing, promo code Linda K, LINDAKAY, and save you some money.
I normally come in pretty hot and pretty excited and pretty loud, right? I have to apologize. We're going to start off the show, and it's not going to be a somber show the whole time. I mean, we're going to talk some wrestling, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention this. Late Wednesday night, going into early Thursday, the reports had came out that Daffney, former WCW Scream Queen, she also played Sarah Palin in TNA Impact, and she had done some work with the NWA as well. Was on her Instagram and had a pretty shocking video that, for lack of a better way to explain it, said she was suicidal and she was alone and she was afraid and she was going to end her life. Now, the reports came out yesterday that she succeeded. So Daffney has passed on, and I just want to kind of talk about some of my favorite spots. You know, it's easy for me to talk about it because I'm a WCW guy. You guys know this. Matthew, you know this. I mean, hell, it's in my name. Daffney, when she hung around with David Flair and Crowbar, was some of the more entertaining stuff in the less entertaining era of WCW. You know, that 2000 to 2001 era, where, you know, we had Nitro and we had matches that maybe not everybody was watching. I enjoyed that stuff. And to be completely honest, Daffney's, when she went to go do Sarah Palin in Impact Wrestling and TNA, Total Nonstop Action, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Matthew, what are your thoughts on Daffney?
Yeah, well, she, first came on my radar in TNA. I was not watching a lot of WCW in the late WCW period. So I'm going to have to go back and check out some of that stuff, on the network. But no, just one of the mainstays of that Knockouts division in TNA for quite a few years.
Here's what really kind of guts me, right? I understand that things weren't working out for her, but this woman, and I don't care, it was a wrestling woman, this woman, 46, literally had a platform to go out and say how she was feeling. She was screaming. I mean, I don't mean that I'm sorry that it came out that way. She was yelling out for help. Somebody, please, I'm hurting. Somebody, please come help me. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to her in time. Nobody could get to her in time. That is what hurts the most.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And, and I mean, it was, a lot of people that I think there was some, from reports I read, there was some confusion as far as, where she was technically living at. And I think that was, part of the delay. There seemed to be, a small amount of people that actually knew, her current location. And just an absolute tragedy, man.
We won't go through too many of them because they're all on the internet. You can go look them up. But I want to kind of reference some of the people that have put stuff out on the socials about her. Unfortunately, we're hearing about them after this all happened, right? But let's put a couple out there. Close personal friend of the Pro Wrestling Report and PWR, Hurricane Helms, Shane Helms, obviously worked with her in WCW. He put out a video of Daffney popping off. I want to say that's a Hurricane Rana. Again, top rope Hurricane Rana on the Hurricane. Pretty impressive. And then the first she does when she's done with it, gets outside and starts screaming into the camera. I absolutely love it. This one kind of hurts a little bit too. So it was known that Mick Foley was looking for her as well. Says, hey, does anybody have her number? Anybody know where she is? Is there any way to reach her? I'd love to talk to her right now. This This one gets me a little bit too, because we watched the China documentary,
Yeah.
right? And we saw Mick literally reach out to Joni, China, and, try to comfort her, try to be there, try to, do what he could for her. I mean, nobody's a miracle worker. We're all human. But,
Well,
in Mick's words,
and we also saw, I believe it was the A&E documentary with Mick Foley, where, post wrestling, he has, actually, for a while, if he doesn't still do it, he was volunteering to a crisis hotline.
as a grief counselor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Mick's words. I'm so very sorry to learn of Daffney's passing. A terrible loss for her family, friends, and wrestling. She was far ahead of her time in our business. And, she kind of was. I mean, she was one of those that were out there doing the moves before the Divas Revolution, right? Yeah. So, you make a great point there. Mick was doing grief counseling, which, his wife had asked what the hell he was doing. But, Mick's a giver, man. Mick's always been a giver. There's one out here too that comes from, again, a friend of David the Zoan Hero. This comes from Zelina Vega. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is the last text from Daffney to Zelina. This is out on the socials as well. Thank you so much for your sweet words today. I so appreciate your encouragement, and I'm so very, very proud of you, Sweet Pea. You more than deserve all your success and happiness. You're gorgeous inside and out. So this is just people being good to each other. Right. And we need more of that. I got to tell you, I personally, I am not a touchy-feely guy, but I mean, it's just kind of, it breaks my heart.
No, absolutely. And I think that's the case with, I think that's the case with hopefully everybody. I mean, you can't, look at this or hear news like this and not have that reaction.
All right. Let's move on. Not that we're going to move on from her, but we've got other stuff we got to talk about today, and we can't make it all just, you know what I mean? So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit of news here. I wanted to bring this up yesterday morning, but we ran out of time. I'm really proud of Josh Alexander and this post that he put out there. Josh Alexander is now a full-time pro wrestler after 15 years. Do you know that Josh Alexander, up until just recently, was still working a full-time day job?
I did not. I had assumed that he had long since been a professional wrestler, but that's news to me. And my goodness, congratulations to him.
Per Josh Alexander, quote, "I've dreamt of this day for longer than I can remember. A day when I don't need to wake up at 3 a.m. to work out before heading to the job site. A day when I don't rush from my red-eye home to a shift. A day where I can finally have time to truly dedicate myself to the business that I love. It's a stressful thought running around with that security blanket of guaranteed income, but risks often produce the bigger rewards. I've often wondered what I'd be able to do as a wrestler when I don't have to work 40-plus hours a week on top of training and travel. It's a scary thought. I guess now we'll finally get to find out." How amazing is that?
That's awesome. And what a nice run he's having right now, too.
Yeah, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, now a full-time wrestler. Again, we giggle because we see this dude as a huge star on TV, right? But he had a full-time job. So, that just makes you think about the ones that are out there kind of grinding right now.
100%.
Our pal, that wears a fanny pack, he's out there grinding right now.
Yeah.
So, okay, let us get into what's happening tonight on Rampage. But more specifically, let us talk about All Out this Sunday, September 5th, live on pay-per-view and live in movie theaters across the country. Matthew, where are you going to be watching it?
I am going to be watching it in the comfort of my own personal studio.
Your own personal studio, which is the bathroom, right? Where you?
Yes, that's correct. No, I was trying. You know what? I think I'm going to try to. I'm just going to try to find a drive-in and just watch it at a drive-in movie.
Well, I mean, a drive-in would be kind of cool because you can get that old 27-pound speaker hanging off your glass.
Yeah. No, I think there's one AMC, if I'm not mistaken, that's showing it, within my radius.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, me personally, from the previous week's worth of shows, you might have heard me mention to Linda, there is 3 to 4 of them in the greater Milwaukee area. But unfortunately, I'm not in the greater Milwaukee area. I'm farther north, about 2 hours. So do I have to take the off time to go down there and pay $25 to watch it?
You know what? The AMC theaters, I've been impressed with their food. They've got a pretty good selection of food. So that's an
AMC,
option
in our area.
if you wanted that. I am a little bit more of a regal kind of person. I'm just a regal person in
We don't
general.
have
I think you
Regal
can.
here. No,
I think you can tell by listening to me over the show how regal I am. You know.
No, today you're going to learn about a Marcus Theater. Today you're going to learn about the chain of Marcus Theaters. Marcus Theaters are actually thebomb.com. I've loved Marcus Theaters forever. The Marcus family has been a greater Wisconsin area. I mean, I think there's some in Colorado, Marcus, but Marcus are predominantly a Wisconsin franchise. We used to have Marcus Big Boys out here, so everybody knows what the Big Boy restaurant is. Well, Marcus was the chain that had the Big Boys. There are Big Boy restaurants showing up again in the Midwest. Have you ever eaten at a Big Boy's?
No, I haven't. I'm familiar.
Do you know what I'm talking about with Big Boy?
It's got the big boy. You know, the boy with the hat and whatnot holding the burger, right?
I don't think he has a hat on, but think Austin Powers, the original.
Cowlick. He's got a cowlick or something, right?
Yeah, he's got a cowlick. But
Yeah,
think Austin Powers, the original Austin Powers, and then Dr. Evil flies out of its butt.
Yeah. No, that
That's
sounds
the
about
Big
right.
Boy.
Well, hey, before I'd be willing to try this Marcus thing, but it's not the chain that kicked Pee Wee out, right? Because I am boycotting the movie theater chain that will not allow Pee Wee Herman there.
Well, I mean, we know what Pee Wee Herman did in that movie theater, and to be honest, I'm kicking him out of there too. If Paul's playing with his Pee Wee Reuben, no.
I mean, it's
all right.
It's a free country.
We know we got big action tonight on Rampage. We got SmackDown as well, but really, folks, it's an AEW week. I'm kind of disappointed that I missed yesterday's charity softball game with AEW. That's back in the old WWF days. They used to go to towns and do softball games. I missed those.
Yeah, that's fun. Look forward to seeing some clips from it, And you could have put that as like a low entry pay-per-view, $4.99 to watch the softball game. That would have been fun.
I mean, we have a bunch of them up here when it comes to Packer season. You got Jordy Nelson Celebrity Softball Challenge. Again, just a chance to get out there and play a little ball. I missed those. The last one I think I saw had the Dudley Boys in it from back in the day.
Please tell me that Orange Cassidy laid down a bunt.
And unintentionally too.
Is that not exactly what you need to see in an AEW
stands there
softball?
and it hits his bat and it falls to the ground.
That's exactly what you need to see.
Oh, damn it, Matthew! That may be the winner chicken dinner of the night.
Good to hear.
Right there. All right, but let's just do it. Let's talk All Out. Here's all the matches, right? There was supposed to be a match between Andrade El Idolo and Pac. Pac has travel issues and will not make it. So
that's breaking news to me.
Yeah, it's going to be postponed for a future episode of Rampage. So the buy-in match that was supposed to happen with all the women has now a big show match.
Oh, so it's on the main card now.
No Battle Royal is on the tape proper.
Good. And I think it deserves it. I mean, they've been stepping up their efforts in the women's division, and I believe this match is going to feature a TBD.
TBD. Yep, let's talk about the match. Here's who's in so far. And again, excuse my dry throat here. Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunnies, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Takane, Diamante, Penelope Ford, and both of her friends. Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kara Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Keelan King, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Anna J, Riho, and one woman, TBD. The rumors, and I'm telling you that I believe this is the case, the woman that is TBD is going to be also somebody else known as Ruby Soho, formerly known as Ruby Riot. I believe she debuts at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, that's I think we're going to get that as well. I'm not sure. You did mention Thunder Rosa's in the Battle Royal, right?
Yes.
There's a Thunder Rosa Britt Baker program coming. Maybe you use this as a launching point.
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, because we had
ready.
that. Yeah. I mean, that's another option. Somebody else that I want to see get some attention in that. I believe her only Impact or her only AEW main card match was a few weeks ago against Jade, and it was a pretty thorough squash. But I want to see Kara Hogan get some more attention because she's had a great run in Impact. She did a little bit over at the NWA on the NWA pay-per-view last weekend. I don't necessarily think she's going to win this, and I don't think she's been put in a position to win this, but I want to see her get over in this because I think there's an immense amount of talent there that will line up well.
So
with
that's
that
who you're
division.
picking. You're picking Nyla Rose, or excuse me, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick Thunder Rosa here.
I love Thunder Rosa. I mean, I'm absolutely over the moon for Thunder Rosa. I mean, probably one of my favorite women in AEW. She's not winning this match, though. It's not the TBD either that's going to win this match.
Who you got?
The winner of the match, even though I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
But I think that this is the thing that'll shoot her up to a little bit higher prominence. She's got smart Mark Sterling right behind her. It's Jade Cargill.
Yeah. I can see that. I think that there's a certain amount of protection there that is warranted. I don't know that putting her immediately into a main event program works. And I don't know you go heel right now with or whatever Britt Baker is. I mean, she's still technically a heel, I think. But we'll see. We'll see who outpicks who.
All right, let's talk a huge 10-man tag. It's the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with Marco Stunt, taking on the Hardy Family Office, Matt Hardy, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, and TH2, which is Angelico and Jack Evans. Who you got?
I see Team Luchasaurus Express, Jungle Express, everybody in the dinosaur business here wins.
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody wins with a dinosaur. Boom, boom, shaka-laka-laka, boom. You know what? That's probably going to be it's the Best Dinosaur Friends. You went all that way for that name, and it's just Best Dinosaur Friends.
Best Dinosaur Friends. Yeah, I like that. And although I feel like we're a little bit remiss too that we don't have Broken Matt. I'd like to see Broken Matt interact with a dinosaur.
Matthew, did you get in this last week's episode of Heels?
No, that's right. I knew there was something I was missing this week.
The reason I sent you that picture is there is a drone in that show.
Oh, really? I'm going to have to watch it immediately now.
The picture I sent you is a drone.
Oh, I thought it was like a raccoon or something.
On a drone.
Oh, you can put an animal on a drone. I've never thought about that.
That's what I'm saying. We need Broken Matt Hardy to get out Vanguard 3.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I like that. Yeah, we need a resurgence of Broken Matt in AEW.
Okay. Let's continue on with the matches, shall we?
I think we shall.
Satoshi Kojima is going to take on Jon Moxley. I don't know enough about Kojima. I think that Moxley wins this on American soil.
Yeah, I can't imagine, you bringing in somebody that there's not that familiarity with to your AEW audience, you have Moxley lose.
Fair enough. Paul White and QT Marshall on the sideline with Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto. This has got to be QT Marshall, even though Paul White could end up getting the victory here, but I think it's for QT Marshall to lose.
I like the way you think. I hope QT Marshall wins, but I'm going Paul White.
Okay. Miro and Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. Eddie would be a great TNT champion because that means we get him talking more often. However, God's favorite champion isn't losing this match.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most substantial competition he's had since he's had that belt, but I don't see him dropping that title. I mean, I think Miro is on a great run.
We complained about Miro not getting pushed right away, the guy in the tank, and now Miro is just on this meteoric rise.
Somebody flipped a switch, and it made all the difference. That's the thing. AEW's missteps, they do so much right, and they move the needle so consistently week to week that their missteps seem like millions of years ago. I mean, how often have you thought about Miro out there playing video games? When was the last time you thought about the barbed wire death match that went off with the little fireworks.
Right. Little sparklers.
And honestly,
like it was Gilbert coming out.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long ago since we saw Chris Jericho getting carved up with a pizza cutter, and
right. Or thrown into a bowl of orange juice.
Yeah, so my goodness, like that's the stuff. Yeah, they've made some mistakes, but they keep moving the ball along. And yeah, and here's the thing.
So you're saying they're not sitting and just lingering around Rey Mysterio getting his eye plucked out?
Yeah. Here's the thing. If Miro had a mid-card title on WWE, we would see him every single week, most likely losing non-title matches in order to build up a contender. And if that wasn't the case, we would see him in some concoction of a tag match to fill time. Miro is utilized in a way that it makes him look strong. He is, most weeks he's just there with a quick, 2-3 minute vignette that makes him look great.
Fuego del Sol from the ramp.
Yeah. When he does wrestle, he looks good. He looks strong. And I mean, this is how you book talent.
Let's talk about one of the big matches, probably a semi-main event out of the 3 main events I think that are really on this card. Chris Jericho and MJF. If Jericho loses, he has to retire from in-ring competition.
Yeah. I think he does, and I think he goes off into the sunset for a while. I mean, he's already made
I think MJF pulls him back in. Yeah, I think he loses here.
Yeah, he's already made the case that he's going to go to. It's not he's leaving AEW. It's he's not going to wrestle in AEW, and he does a great job on
his exact words were, I'll go right over to that commentary booth and do Rampage, and maybe someday Dynamite.
Yeah, and the words are, it's not that I'm not ever going to wrestle again, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I'm going to do commentary. Man, and honestly, I think that Jericho was one of those major transitional figures in the first couple of years of AEW, and it is becoming loaded with talent. He's somebody that doesn't need to wrestle, and I think this might be a calculated move to build up MJF to that other level. Imagine that. Imagine the bragging rights of the guy who retired Jericho, and I think it gives Jericho the ability to kind of hang back for a little while and potentially not collect any points for Team Linda Kay.
Well, I'm pretty sure Linda Kay would have to make some moves there. All right. Let's talk about the Young Bucks taking on the Lucha Brothers. Penta El Zero Miedo, Rey Fenix, Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson on the outside. Brandon Cutler for the Bucks. On the outside for the Luchas, Alex Abrahantes. This is a cage match. The newly acquired Lucha Brothers for the team they call Meatheads, scoring double points for appearance, double points for a match, double points for specialty, and the new tag team champions with double points, the Lucha Brothers.
Despite my vested interests, I want to see that happen because I think the Lucha Brothers, in my opinion, is most likely the most talented tag team in that company.
And over. Oh my God, are they over?
Yeah, and my goodness, 80% of the time, the Bucks matches are not for me, but when they turn it on and they have the right opponent, Paige and Omega, they were 2 of the right opponents, and I think the Lucha Brothers are going to be the right opponents again. I think this is easily going to be match of the night, and it's going to be super entertaining, and I look forward to seeing that little preview that we had of that cage. That is a large-looking cage with that scaffold stuff on there, man. I think we're going to see an insane match. I do see the Bucks retaining here, though.
Oh, another championship match on the women's side. Dr. Britt Baker DMD with Rebel, depending on how the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal goes, taking on Chris Statlander, the #1 contender. She's a best friend.
Glad to see Statlander, in the title picture, but I think Britt Baker retains fairly easy here.
I don't know how to call this, a side main event, a sub main event, a co-main event. 7 years. CM Punk, Darby Allin, 1-on-1. Sting said he's not coming out. Punk won't be out there with anybody. Chicago is going to go banana over CM Punk in the wrestling ring. It's clobbering time. Who you got?
This is tough to call because, the elevation of Darby with the win over Punk is monumental. I don't think he needs it, though. I think Darby's already over. You're in
Is it
Chicago.
a first time in 7 years win as important as a win maybe at the next pay-per-view?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I think that this is a win and loss that matters. And I think Punk needs to go out there and he needs to get Darby over, but he needs to pick up the W because look at this. I mean, yeah, you can make the case that Darby getting the win is monumental for Darby's career, but I think that Punk has more to lose here than Darby does. I think Darby losing is somewhat expected. I mean, you want to see a great match, but it feels like just the smart thing to do, is have Punk win and build up that, ascent to the main event, because at some point this dude is going to get a title match. And at some point, I think if you're Tony Khan, you want this guy as your champion.
How much does Darby Allin weigh?
Probably 160.
Whew. I mean, I'm not trying to be Dave Hero here, right? And how Dave always had the issue with the smaller guys, but is that your heavyweight champion?
Oh, and I meant as your champion, I'm talking Punk, not Darby. Okay. But yeah, I mean, not kicking Darby out of the contention, but I think Darby is more of a.
What does Punk weigh? 200?
200, 220, something like that. I
mean, Punk has been a champion wherever he's gone. So
yeah. No, I mean, I think you're going to get a Punk title reign quicker than you would a Darby reign, and I think you need to start that climb up the ladder. I mean, that's the good thing with the booking they're doing in AEW is you've got to earn it, man. You've got to, those wins and losses matter. I mean, that's why Christian wasn't thrust into that main event spotlight immediately. And
Perfect
I think
segue. Yep.
Yeah, for publicity, for high profile, you got to have Punk get that title eventually, and you got to have those Punk Bryan Danielson matches.
Let's talk about the main event. Kenny Omega taking on Christian Cage. This is for the AEW World Championship. Matthew, I'm calling it right here. The winner, double appearance, double match, double title win, new AEW champion, Christian Cage. You're laughing at me like it can't happen.
Yeah. I don't think it can.
It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I tried. I think Kenny Omega wins this.
Yeah, and this is weird to me, man. And I'll tell you what I'm actually surprised that we got this far. I thought the Cage match here was a red herring because Cage took the Impact title off of him. I mean, I don't think there's any way he's taking the AEW title off of him.
No.
And I'm honestly surprised that we're getting this far. It's going to be a great match. I don't feel like the suspension of disbelief is there. And I wonder, if this is not if this does, in fact, go on last and this doesn't, in fact, happen to bring out one Bryan Danielson.
It could, but actually I see somebody else coming out. It was red herring. The Christian Cage is a win in this match. But
who do you see coming out?
I see a unofficial member of the Dark Order. Hangman Adam Page.
I would be perfectly fine with that. And you go there. I mean, we've kind of given November is kind of our prediction of when that potential title change would happen. And I tell you, all right, when's the November pay-per-view? Do you have a date?
It's Full Gear. I don't have the date in front of me, but I can get that for you in just a moment.
And honestly, I think a lot of that
November 6th.
November 6th. Do you know when the Virginia show is? The Virginia Dynamite. It's the week after that, right? It's
that sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Page is being featured heavily for that. It's in his hometown. I was under the assumption it was going to be to build him, but my goodness, man, it might be a little celebration time.
Talk about popping a crowd right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. When it happens, that's the. I mean, keep in mind, Omega's already lost the Impact, title. Those dominoes have started to fall a little bit, and
And that's why, I mean, I'm joking about the Christian Cage winning, but that's why it makes perfect sense for the Bucks to lose their tag team titles. It's time to break the Elite for a minute.
And I mean, I think that you're going to get to a point too where you need to bring that audience back to garner some appreciation for the Elite, because it's not genuine go away heat. And I don't think
It's
you ever
pretty
get
close.
that. But it is, we're disgusted with this. Like this is not entertaining us right now. And, the perception I get is we get how talented you guys are, but, this over the top, annoy us so we boo you is getting old.
I mean, let's talk about the poster, for example, right? So, there's so much to say about a poster. The poster for All Out looks as this. There was no way it wasn't going to be CM Punk in the dead center of this poster. There's no way it wasn't going to be. Okay? Surrounding Punk, right above him is Kenny Omega. Then to the left, Miro. To the right, Jericho. You got Christian Cage. Then you got MJF. Again, this is how they gauge the stars, right? MJF is just over Miro's shoulder. Up at top, you've got Paul White. You got Sting. You got Darby Allin. You got QT Marshall. You've even got Britt Baker out in front by the words, and the Young Bucks just underneath Punk as well. These are your stars of AEW. It 100%. Is time because we don't need the Bucks there anymore. We've built a show for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's time for the next version.
I agree. I do not disagree with any of that.
Well, Matthew Thomas, the PWR draft is happening. We are going into this weekend. Have you seen the tweets from the accounting firm?
Yeah, I've seen a few tweets here and there.
Who's leading right now?
You buy a little amount, and I'll tell you, you'll probably increase it.
No, sir.
Wait a minute. That's right, because you made a move. So wait a minute. Does that thrust somebody else into first place?
No, sir. There's no thrusting here. We're side by side, my friend.
So
we're a dead tie.
It's a dead heat, huh?
The accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe has the totals as this: leading but still tied, and the man they call Meathead at 1,280 points, leading but technically in second. Team Nelson Matt Della at 1,280 points, and the person with the most talent from AEW on her team long time, Linda Kay at 1,060. Linda Kay could perceivably be in first place by Sunday night.
It's very possible, and I'm going to take I'm going to take a very calculated move back here, because I kind of like it. I like hanging out in the back every now and then, but that's all right because, WWE is going to be going to Saudi Arabia, and WWE is going to have them a little shindig on New Year's Day too. So it'll all come out in the wash.
Let's talk about the rosters here real quick before we go, okay? Mm-hmm. Linda Kay has the AEW champion Kenny Omega. She's got Britt Baker, the women's champion, Bianca Belair. She's got MJF. She's got the AEW tag team champions, the Young Bucks. She's got Damian Priest and New Day. She's also got Chris Jericho, Alexa Bliss, and John Cena. Linda Kay could come out of this leading this.
She most likely will, I think.
No.
Yeah,
I've got a double title win from the Lucha Brothers. No. Here's who Matthew has.
Let's see.
Well, you got Roman Reigns. You got
I like him. Champion.
You've got Orton and Riddle. None of them are going to be on the show. None of them going to be on the show. Styles and Omos, not on the show.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, not on the show. Matthew Karrion Kross, not on the show. Sheamus, not on the show. Orange Cassidy. You've got Orange Cassidy.
Wait a minute. No. I dropped him a while back.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I dropped him for, I think, you know what? I think I dropped him for Edge.
No.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy's long gone. Check the notes. Check the scorecard.
I'll have to check the scorecard on it. Okay, great. You have one less person for AEW.
Oh yeah. I'm rocking zero AEW talent.
So you think you're going to be in first by the end of the Sunday? Can't happen.
Oh no way.
You're going to be in dead last.
I'm taking a few steps back, but it's calculated steps back. Like here's the thing: when you see somebody doing like a dance routine, they're not just taking steps forward; they take steps forwards and sideways, and then they take calculated steps back.
Are you Paul Abdul?
This is going to be. Think about the moonwalk, man. The moonwalk is pretty much all steps back.
2 steps forward, I'll take 2 steps back.
Yeah. It's calculated. Enjoy your points, but only know only know that this is part of my plan, man. I've been formulating this plan ever since the very start. You see,
and
it's working out exactly like I envisioned.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the roster they call Meatheads. Let's talk about them. Are you ready to talk about them? The roster they call Meatheads. We've got Hangman Adam Page possibly showing up at the pay-per-view. We got the Lucha Brothers, who are going to win the tag team titles and the cage match. We've got Moxley and Kingston.
Oh.
Okay. I do not get double points.
Right.
I get one match, one appearance, one victory. So depending on who wins and who loses, I think Kingston's going to lose, and I think Moxley's going to win. I'll be taking Moxley's points. I get also, look at that, Christian Cage in the title match. Huh. Well, odd how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Interesting. Well, you guys enjoy your points this weekend.
Okay. Well, don't worry. We'll be taking care of all of that and talking about the Accounting for a Duchino house. So for Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you guys Monday morning. Everything AEW. So long, everyone.